So we've just arrived at Waveney Valley Hogspital, which is home of a lady called Anna, and she, out of the kindness of her heart, takes in hedgehogs all year round and looks after them. So these might be babies that have been abandoned by their mothers, perhaps ill hedgehogs that have wandered away from their homes, or just hedgehogs that have been found on the side of the road. And she's keeping everything, her little hogspital, inside one shed. That's Winston. We'll go meet him in a second, but if you come with me, we have to keep our voices down because ultimately these are wild animals, so we need to make sure that we keep them nice and calm. Hello, Anna.
Hello.
From the outside it just looks like a garden shed. You would assume that it would just be full of tools and
lawnmowers.
Lawnmowers, exactly, but no. How many hedgehogs have you got in here at the moment?
24, including the 4 hibernating outside.
24?
There are.
20 in here?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you have to do? Is there anything we can help you do today?
Yes, definitely. We need to clean everybody out.
Right.
Re-water and we feed this evening.
Okay.
We want the animals to be nocturnal.
Who would be the best to start with?
I think we'll start with Pickle, because Pickle is incredibly messy and that'll give you a really good insight into normal hedgehog in captivity. Pickle's chart. Pickle has been with us since the 17th of November. She was found at the side of the road by Daddy taking his children to school. Pickle was suffering from intestinal fluke, which is a nasty parasite that feeds on the blood in the intestines and causes internal bleeding. Today we have to collect a sample to double check if she's clear. If she is clear, we are taking a poo sample. So last night's dinner. Now, as you can see, hedgehogs poo and wee everywhere, and there's no way to be sure that hasn't got poo in it. So we just throw it out straight into the washing up bowl. And then later, when we have all dishes together, we will clean them and put them in to be sterilised in Milton for, well, overnight at least. They can keep their dry biscuits, but we have to check that there's no wee in the bottom, which would be the swollen biscuits. That's definitely clean, that's fine. She can keep that one. First of all, we'll clean out the newspaper. So we'll just put Pickle down here on the newspaper we've put on the floor.
Okay.
And we'll put her door against the cage, so if she does decide to get up,
we'll notice.
She won't get out.
Right, okay.
We need a little pot for the poo.
Okay, so we are taking our first poo sample. Pickle's poo, everybody.
We look for the poo that looks the slimiest and grimiest, which will be this one. This looks nice and slimy.
So actually you want to get the dodgy looking poo to make sure. Nice.
Yeah, if it's got slimy jelly, then we want to have a good look at that. So then we just write Pickle's name on it.
So how often do you do this, Anna?
Every morning.
Every single one?
Every single morning, yeah.
That's 24 hedgehogs at the moment get cleaned out like this.
Takes about 3 hours, and that's before I go to work.
And Anna has a full-time job which starts at 9:30 in the morning.
An hour's drive away. So I'm going to change my gloves and we're going to get Pickle out and put Pickle on the scales. Now, hedgehogs are very, very prickly. So yesterday, Pickle weighed 617 grams, which is a lovely weight for a little hedgehog.
What's the goal weight that you try and get them to?
If you allow a hedgehog to get too fat and it can't curl properly so that there's no fluff or anything showing, they're at risk to predators. Much harder to get them skinny than it is to help them put it on.
You can't put a hedgehog on an exercise regime.
No, it's really difficult. So she's made a beautiful nest here. You can see this is the little hole she uses to come in and out at night. And most hedgehogs poo by their hole. I think that is a scenting. I think it's to tell hedgehogs there's somebody in residence. So we're very, very careful not to disturb the nest too much, but I know Pickle sleeps in this corner. So I'm going to pull Pickle's, there she is. I'm going to pull the hay back and I'm going to find Pickle.
Hi, Pickle.
And then usually you would scoop, but I'm going to put one hand under because she's right in the corner, and I'm going to tip the box so she comes into my hand so that it's not too nasty for her. And I'm bearing in mind she's been with us a few weeks now. She's used to this. So I'm just checking her skin over to make sure it's nice and clean. There are a few flakes on there, but a few flakes are fine. It's when they're really, really flaky.
You always just assume that hedgehog spines all just stick directly up. But actually they're quite crisscrossy, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they have to protect every bit of skin. If they just all went up, there'd be lots of bits of skin unprotected. Now, Pickle will come out. By doing this on her back, she moves her spines and her muscles to protect this part of her back because she can feel me tickling. Look at those nails.
So
great for digging with to find the beetles. We do love a good crunchy beetle, don't we, Pickle?
Oh, is that their favourite? A crunchy beetle?
Beetles, yeah. Beetles are great. Snails, slugs, earthworms. Pickle is going to be popped into the scales. 634, so she's put on overnight, which is great. Probably about another 15 grams. We love a weight gain every night.
Anna, when it's time to let them go,
yes.
How do you feel? Do you get attached to the hedgehogs?
Hedgehogs are smelly. Hedgehogs are smelly and they eat too much and they need to go. They need to be free. So I rescued my first hedgehog at the age of 8. Back in the 80s, we probably fed it the wrong thing. Never feed wildlife bread or milk ever. Milk causes diarrhea and the bread has no nutritional value for any animal. Much better to chuck birds' corn, hedgehogs, a handful of cat food.
Okay.
So we fed it and we kept it overnight and it seemed fine, and the next day my mum said, right, go and put it under the hedge.
So as little Anna, that was quite difficult.
I didn't do it. I kicked and screamed and shouted and cried, and I'm not releasing this hedgehog. I'm keeping it as my pet. I love this hedgehog. Under protest, I took it was a big hedgehog, and I put it under the hedge back at the cricket club, which was across the road from the house. And it wouldn't go, it stayed. And I went running home and I said to Mum, my hedgehog stayed, he wants to be with me, he loves me. And Mum said, go and have a look now, and I went back and he'd gone.
So there you go.
He didn't love me.
So these are wild animals,
They
and
are.
they belong out in the wild, so it's wonderful whilst they're here at the hospital and Anna can look after them, but ultimately they should be back out there.
Yep.
So this here, we've just met Monty. Monty was brought in by a lady called Anita and wasn't quite sure if there was anything wrong with him, but he actually was suffering from lungworm. So today we just need to check that he's putting on weight and also just give him his final injection. And lungworm is carried by slugs and snails.
Yeah,
okay.
So they live in the respiratory tract of animals that pick them up and cause inflammation and pneumonia and eventually death. The hedgehog coughs, all the dead larvae up, and it's a nasty, nasty cough. It sounds like the 40-a-day smokers. He is an autumn juvenile. He did need to come in because he wouldn't survive hibernation, and of course food is scarce at the moment, so he wouldn't be able to get very big. Now he's very spiky. I should have had my gloves on really, because these big defensive white spikes,
Wow, yeah.
these big ones are the ones they use to defend themselves with.
Okay. So they've got different types of spikes. I didn't realise that.
So we need to work out how much medication he needs from this bottle, and we inject it into the air pocket just underneath the spines, and then it gets absorbed into the body.
Oh, and this is medication for lungworm.
So this is Leviside.
So you're moving the spines to get to the skin
I've got
directly?
hold of the spines and I'm pulling them slightly towards me so I can find access into the air pocket easier, because he scrunches up because he knows what's coming. So just put the tip of the needle in so you're in the air pocket, dispense the medication.
Oh, he did so well.
And pop your sharps in the bin. Let's see if we can get Monty to uncurl enough to tell the difference between a boy and a girl.
Oh, okay, yes.
So
we're wondering how you sex a hedgehog.
Yeah, hedgehogs do not have belly buttons. So if a hedgehog does have what looks like a belly button, it's most likely a boy. And it's a willy, not a belly button.
It's not a belly button, it's a willy.
Yeah, in the tiny, tiny little hedgehogs. No, we have to be serious.
No.
So we have a nose. And
we have
there is a boy belly button. It's not a belly button. So, it's a boy.
So here,
yes,
that's
his willy.
That's a hedgehog willy.
Yeah, and he's got a little tail and a bottom just below.
His tummy is so cute.
Soft and fluffy.
Look at his little.
He knows you were looking at him.
Sorry, Monty. Got
Proud,
personal.
you know.
Every single time a hedgehog will come into the hospital, Anna will take a sample of their poo so we can see exactly what's going on, see if they've got any parasites or any infections. This little guy came in last night.
Yesterday morning.
Okay, and is very poorly, has got serious diarrhoea, has drank a lot of water overnight, so has clearly been dehydrated.
So little hedgehog is eating, which is a great sign if any animal eats.
He's just got his face buried in the food.
So we have a little boy, again. The difference in tiny baby boys in comparison to big boys.
So when you have a good healthy hedgehog, when they curl up into a ball, you want it to be nice and plump and round. However, if they're underweight, they'll actually look slightly more pointed towards the bottom. And that's the case with this hedgehog here. He's very underweight. Yeah,
we've got quite a heavy burden of roundworm everywhere on this slide of the egg. So what you're looking for are an oval shaped egg And you see right in the middle of the screen there's about 4 or 5 and all around, dotted around. Yep, so that's the roundworm. So we've definitely
They almost look like little grains of rice.
Yes, yeah.
What does roundworm cause in hedgehogs?
The roundworm eats the food that the hedgehog eats, meaning the hedgehogs don't get any food.
Right.
They don't get any nutrition. So we always treat for it in captivity, but we don't routinely treat hedgehogs in the wild. They don't need it. They live harmoniously inside a hedgehog's intestines.
We've seen only a little slice of what you do here at the Hogspital, and it's so impressive. All the way through to checking the parasites under a microscope, to weighing and feeding and cleaning out the hedgehogs. But what is it that we can do to help you out? Because you're doing this all by yourself.
I am. I have an Amazon wish list with lots of items on it. Would be great if people could help by donating. We have lots of different foodstuffs that we feed the hedgehogs on a daily basis, and we go through a lot of it. We also use the pureed pears and apples. Anything that is a British find in the wild fruit, the hedgehogs love. If they're not eating, I squirt a bit of this on the dinner and they soon eat.
Hedgehog pudding. That is pear puree. It's hedgehog pudding, I think. Your little one, does it have a name yet?
No.
I was going to say, if we have any good suggestions on YouTube.
Oh yeah, sure.
Do you want to keep an eye on the comments?
Yeah,
and it would be fantastic, guys, if you would like to name the hedgehog that came in yesterday morning, who's very poorly, but will be here, and Anna will make sure.
And is a boy.
And is a boy, yes, we know now.
Is a boy.
So, any name suggestions, pop it below, and we will let you know which one gets chosen by Anna.
Thank you very much.